You'll never guess where I've been. I just came back from Moldova. I've been overseas a few times in the past, but to be honest, this was a bit of a first for me.
So I just am leaving Frankfurt, and I am heading out to get on the plane to go to Moldova right now.
Because I've been around the world a little bit before, I wasn't very afraid taking a big long flight, getting away from it all, and getting to know a lot of different people along the way.
My new friend.
You always my friend, right?
Immediately, there's so many things that are different. The way you get on the plane, you can go in the front of the plane or the back of the plane. First I flew on United, then Lufthansa. Lufthansa's an awesome airline. Their snacks are rather unique. I've been holding out a little bit, yes, it's true. The big exciting news is that I have been asked to be a part of an international television show, and I'm gonna take you along.
So this is unexpected. Moldova has mountains. Can you see that?
In the past, I've been the guy that stands behind the camera, either directing, producing, or being the cinematographer himself. I've also been known as the guy who fixes everything in post. But the moment I got off of that Lufthansa plane in Chisinau, Moldova, everything changed. I was prepped ahead of time that the cameras would be rolling on me the moment I entered the airport. You know, I was expecting that sort of intimidating experience when you're going to another country to, have to explain at customs, what are you doing here? Why are you coming here? Where's your passport? Why are you American? All kinds of things. But instead, it was so hilarious. There were already people set up pointing cameras at me. I was supposed to act like they weren't there, and I was supposed to proceed through security and meet up with the rest of the team. The guy at the counter that wanted to see my passport, the one welcoming me into the country, he seemed to be like hyper aware that he was on camera and was so nervous and was thinking it seemed like he just wanted to say, just take your passport and go so I can stop being on camera. I was greeted with gifts and hugs and smiles and everything you could possibly want when you're entering a country and you're not sure what to expect. Downtown Chisinau, and we're gonna go see what it's like. People are super friendly, super interesting. It was so cool. Everything was set up, the hotel was booked for me, and it was just the most comfortable experience. I love how dark and mysterious it is. Here's the room. They got me a new SIM card for my phone. I was set up. In fact, what was crazy was I think I experienced way better, faster internet, both through Wi-Fi and through the cellular service than I have ever experienced here in the United States. And I've had Google Fiber and AT&T Fiber, and none of them were nearly as fast as that. The best part about having access to the internet that much was the fact that I could frequently talk with and discuss with my family. And one of the crew members from Moldova was smart enough to come up with this idea of taking Facebook Messenger, creating a group chat for all of us so that we can share all of our photos that we take with our phones. The very next day, we headed out to begin filming the show. So we are in a village just north of Chisinau, Moldova, and we're visiting a children and youth rehabilitation center. Doing a little bit of filming of the founder. There she is in the background there. So, how did I end up in Moldova? There is something to say about that anti-Hollywood model, where the structure doesn't have to be quite as extensive, you can keep things small, you can stay in tight spaces, and you can keep communication really open between everyone. This team, absolutely. Let's check it out. That team right over there. Focus on the background, right there. That team works together really, really well. I love seeing both of the cameramen work together. I love seeing the two directors working together. And I'm so lucky I got to work with them. In general, the Moldovan people, everyone that I've met are so nice. It was so easy to get along with people. I've learned that they're incredibly hospitable. I've learned a little bit about the Romanian language. Everyone knows that I can't speak Russian, so when I pretend, it really gets us nowhere. It was quite a change of pace for me to not be organizing and influencing a lot of what the creative acquisition was, what was being captured, how it was being captured, and maintaining the footage, the equipment, and that sort of thing. Taking a step back to be a producer and a co-host was a completely different experience.
We're out here right on the edge of Chisinau, Moldova, and we're about to fly a drone. As it stands right now, there are no drone rules. You don't have to have a license. You don't have to get a permit. You don't have to get a permission from ATC. It's kind of a free-for-all. My new friend Roman just told me that the process of doing this documentary series, it's going to be like we saw it today.
From day one, the documentary series that we've been capturing was done a little bit differently than your typical shoot. Documentary filmmakers go and capture. They go discover. Uncover new things. They pivot and adjust based on those new discoveries, and we had many of these discussions. Coming up with too much of a plan can make a documentary seem too contrived. Fortunately, we were afforded the opportunity on this project to have enough time and resources to go and make that discovery journey. It was ideal.
There's the drone.
The language they use is Romanian.
It's so interesting to hear a language that, to my ears, kind of has this Eastern European Slavic accent, and yet it's not a Slavic language, so as I'm trying to understand it, I'm not picking up on hardly any cognates at all, unless they're related to English. There are a few words that are definitely familiar in Russian or in Latvian, such as the word ticket, bilet, bilete, bilete, bilete.
I'm out of practice.
But for the most part, it's such a unique language, more related to Italian. That's why a lot of Moldovans have immigrated to Italy and have picked up on the language really easily over there. So if I knew Spanish or if I knew Italian, I would be far better off, that's for sure. So I'd like to introduce you to the entire team. Over there, that's Roman, and he's one of the camera operators. And also Eugene, the drone pilot right here, if I can get his name right. And then over here you have Leonid, who's been co-hosting the show with me. And then right over here you have Mircea. And Mircea, he's like a nice, lovable teddy bear with a very serious face. Very funny, likes to joke. I can tell they're trying to translate a lot of dad jokes. I think actually they expect me to not enjoy myself quite as much. They're looking at me wondering, is Zach totally uncomfortable right now? Is he too used to his cushy American lifestyle? But I am absolutely loving this because I had all these incredibly fond memories of the people and the places that I saw in Eastern Europe when I lived in the Baltics for 2 years. And so no, I am not uncomfortable. I feel so good here, actually. And you know, my affinity goes really deep. You know, Mircea was saying that this little town where there's only Soviet-era apartment buildings that are just really, really gray and blocky looking. He said, you know, it's like one of the ugliest looking towns he's ever seen. But I look at it really nostalgically. I look at it like I do when I think about Latvia. You know, I have all these wonderful feelings associated with places like these. I would love to come back here all the time. I would love to make that happen. As far as fitting in goes, you know, I'm really not sure. I don't know if people look at me and wonder, just by looking at my face, that guy isn't Moldovan. Who is this guy? That guy's not Russian. Who is this guy? I mean, truly, I think it's that level of hospitality that I'm getting from this wonderful team right over here. They have been taking such good care of me, and I really feel completely honored to be a part of such an awesome project.
So what's the documentary series we're making? The working title, as it is now, is People to People. It explores the relationship between those in North Carolina and Moldova in the North Carolina-Moldovan partnership. Something I didn't even know existed.
This wasn't just connecting Moldova or Moldovans with a group in America that simply signed a check and sent money across the ocean. And in the process, people from North Carolina came over to Moldova and they began to get to know each other. And that is an awesome example of humanity. Wow. So every once in a while our vehicle doesn't open up correctly, and Roman every single time has the magical touch and he can open the door. What's your secret? How did you do it?
I didn't do it.
Oh, you didn't do it? You know the secret for that door?
This one just doesn't have any secret.
It's no secret, it's just It's just crap.
It's just bad.
We just stopped at the rental place where our van was rented from. Well, I asked, why are we here? And Roman said, because we're gonna beat some people up for giving us this van that doesn't work. The doors don't open up. And then of course, as soon as we show them, the car door opens up easily and we can't get it to not work, and it's working perfectly, and they don't believe us now.
I would say as a documentary filmmaker or as a filmmaker, someone, we like to use this term, I like to tell stories. But it's not exactly that for me. That's not what makes me so attracted to people and their personalities and different cultures around the world. I can absolutely say I have something inherent, something inside of me that could get to know people limitlessly. Being able to go for a little walk with my new friend just around the neighborhood, seeing a new park, seeing different people's faces, seeing little kids, getting to talk about the way life is, the way life was, the way life could be. It was absolutely such a thrill to get to know that people are so similar and having such similar experiences on another side of the world, even though they express themselves very differently. But I have to say, this particular people in Moldova are very warm and welcoming people. And I don't think it's just because of me being a guest, a featured person representing North Carolina and representing America. This was different. I'm talking about the fact that they had such warmth about the way they talked with me. They had such sincerity with the way we talked about different subjects. It made for such a good relationship right off the bat.
Roman and I just went for just a little walk while our car was being looked at, and it's gone now. So we can't find our team, and he's trying to give them a call to figure out where they went. He assured me that he still knows how to get home from here.
Just they left us. So
Are they up here?
We have to go to the bus. No. Actually, they left us.
They actually left us.
So don't worry. You're safe with me. You're good.
I feel safe with Roman.
There were a couple of Moldovans that I had met here in Raleigh, North Carolina, and they really wanted me to get to know a few people. So in the after hours, when we were done traveling around to the villages and to the different facilities making the documentary, I was able to go back to my hotel and set up some meetings with a few individuals just around Chisinau, the capital of Moldova.
Oh my flip, I just met yet another cool person here in Moldova. Someone that's I don't even know where to begin. I mean, just like more cool people. I'm sure tomorrow I'm going to be even more, and I have no idea where they're coming from. They're coming out of the woodwork here. Like, honestly, the relationships, the awesome opportunities, the knowledge that we're in it to help each other. This has been such an incredible, awesome experience. So totally unexpected. There was even this moment where we were talking, and she said, we just had this, consciousness connection where I knew you were going to bring up this topic, and I was like, and I was just about to bring up this topic when you brought up that topic, and it was like, wow, this is meant to be. Anyway, the waitress definitely thought I was so totally weird because I wanted to order 2 hot chocolates, and I don't know, maybe that's just not appropriate in Moldova. I'm still learning about customs.
There have been opportunities for me to network with people outside of the United States. The kind of networking that's most important really doesn't have to do with business networking. It's the kind of networking that brings relationships into full view, that builds people together, that makes you realize there's this sort of unity that's available that we just don't know about yet. Getting similar people together could turn into many opportunities in various ways. I have found so many people that I'm so impressed with from all over the world now. There are so many more insights coming, so please stay tuned. This week, next week, some more weeks perhaps, I'm gonna keep making these vlogs and show you tons of behind the scenes from the experience out in Moldova making the first 5 episodes of this documentary series. Lots of tips, lots of interesting insights are coming, and of course, I would love to have your comments. I would love for you to subscribe. I'd love for you to like. I'd love for you to share. But most of all, I hope that you're enjoying what you're seeing, because this experience, it really blew my mind. My first experience living in Eastern Europe was delightful. It really enlightened me. It made me feel like I had a greater connection with the rest of the world, the rest of humanity. I might be able to say I had just as much enlightenment as I did that first time that I lived in Eastern Europe. The experience was different. It can't be the same every time, and you have to see it in person. Ceci n'est pas une pipe. This is not a pipe. This is only a picture of a pipe. All the images that I remember of Moldova previous to going to Moldova, I no longer think about. All that I can think about is what it really was like. Something that you just can't see when you're looking at pictures, when you're hearing about it in videos such as these. So may this serve as an opportunity for you to be encouraged to get out of your bubble, to talk with more people, to get to know others that are different than you. Because that helps in so many countless ways. I'm sure in ways that I can't even imagine right now. I'm happy to be home and finally sharing some things with you. Please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell when you subscribe so that you get that email the next time I come out with a new episode. Ask me some questions in the comments. Get out there, make something new. Choose to do the brave thing today. The best is yet to come. Albeit unpredictable, it is right around the corner. So, we'll see you next time.